Thank you, thank you. Well, first of all, I am excited to be here tonight. Thank you so much for coming out to my talk. This is a rare occasion because I really love to have other speakers on this stage. But my team, all the AGC captains and lieutenants have been begging and asking, would you do the keynote spot? So here I am, so thank you for obliging me. So tonight's topic, I actually started you ahead of time in the open networking. And there was a subject around you were supposed to ask people, what did you want to be when you grow up? Like, what did you want to be when you were 5? What did you want to be when you were 7? When you were a little boy or a little girl? So I'm just kind of curious. I didn't get to network with all of you, but I'd like to know, just kind of shout some answers out to me. What did you want to be when you were a little boy or a little girl? Firefighter. Rock star, okay. Ballerina. A teacher.
Football player. Conan the Barbarian.
Conan the Barbarian, and a football player. You know, the really cool thing about when you're 5 years old or you're 7 years old, no one ever tells you that you can't be that. You would never look to a 5-year-old and say, oh, I'm sorry, but you're never going to be an astronaut. You know, it's never going to happen for you. There's a lot of work in that. There's a lot of education. There's so much preparation. Only a few make it. See, the only thing that really it stands between what we want to do and what we really get to do is our belief. The belief that all things are possible, that you can do anything that you set your mind to. And so belief is what stands in the way. And again, no one would ever tell this young man on our screen tonight that you'll never be that astronaut. And so I love that because as I was networking with you, I heard firemen, I heard somebody wanted to be a cowboy, someone wanted to be a flight attendant. I mean, it was just so fun to hear what you wanted to be whenever you were 5 years old. So what did Travis want to be? I wanted to be a magician. So this is a picture of me when I was 5 years old, getting my first magic set with lots of hair. Yes, that was me. But I'm one of the few that actually got to follow my dreams. And so I followed that career. I never knew that you could be a magician and make a living. But I spent over 10 years of my professional life performing all over the country in front of huge crowds, as many as 3,000 people. Just an amazing experience. I got to perform at the Oprah Winfrey Show, some fun, really cool stuff. But my favorite part was just spreading smiles and putting smiles on people's faces. I got to do what I loved. And so what is it that stands in the way of what we really want to do? Why do we not get to do what we really want to do? It's because self-doubt sometimes sets in. It does. We talk ourselves out of the things that we really want to do in life. Fear gets in the way. Fear stands for false expectations appearing real. Like 99% of your fears will never actually happen. And I know you're probably all worried about that 1%, right? The 1%, but 99% of our fears never really happen. Anxiety sets in and gets in the way of what we really want to do. So we say, I'll just get to it tomorrow. I'll just do it tomorrow. Oh, you know what? I'll wait and I'll do it next week. We'll do it later. We'll get to this later. And then later becomes next year. And then it becomes sometime in the future. Until we say, you know what? I'll just do it someday. I'll do it someday. And I'm here to share with you tonight that someday is not a day in the week. It's not a day in the week. You won't find it. There's lots of days in the week, but someday isn't one of them. I'm also here to tell you that you are stronger than you think. You're stronger than you think. Don't let people talk you out of your dreams. Don't let yourself talk you out of what you want to accomplish. And so if you're checking out the slide right now, and you listen to my bio, I once weighed 315 pounds. And I lost 115 pounds of that, and I've kept it off for about 6 years now. And I get to do things today that 315-pound Travis could never do. And like mud runs, and if you're looking at this picture, those strings hanging down, they're volts of electricity. And when I ran through that, doing the Tough Mudder, it's the last obstacle, and I'd done about 12 miles through mud and yuck and just tons of obstacles, and you get to this last one, and the volts hit you so hard, it knocked me down. I mean, face planted me 3 times. I thought someone hit me from the back, is what I thought happened. You are stronger than you think. You are capable of losing the weight, if that's what you want to do. You're capable of so many things. You really should spend time doing the things that you really want to do in life. Maybe you've always wanted to go on a hot air balloon ride. Or maybe you have a little fear of heights, and that's one way to get over it. Or maybe, here's another way to get over it. When you're jumping out of an airplane. I didn't know that I had a fear of jumping out of an airplane until someone called me and said, hey, have you ever wanted to jump out of a plane? I'm like, no, I've never really thought about it before. And let me tell you this, I'll make this quick. But one of my close friends said, hey, we're going to go do some skydiving, and we want you to go. And I'm like, I don't know. I said, you know what? I don't think Dawn would ever want to do that. I don't think she would. And so I get home, and I tell her about this. And she said, I've always wanted to do this. I'm like, are you kidding me? And so it's not cheap. And I was like, she's like, I don't know if I want to. I said, you know what? Don't let the money stand in the way if this is really what you want to do. But I'm good either way. I'm totally good either way. I was counting on her to tell me that, no, I really don't want to do this. And she's like, yeah, let's do it. I'm like, oh, man. So if you ever go to do skydiving, they count to 3, by the way. They count to 3 as you're about ready to go out. Guess what they never get to? 3. They push you out on 2. They push you out on 2. So just a little warning, they push you right out on 2. But really cool experience. A lot of people have a fear of public speaking. Like, this is absolutely the number one fear in the world is public speaking, ahead of death. Did you know this? Yeah, absolutely, ahead of death. And that means that you would much rather be the person who's in the casket than the one delivering the eulogy. It just never made sense to me. It's never been a fear of mine, but it is for a lot of people. So I'm telling you that someday is not a day of the week. You can conquer your fears, whether that is jumping out of an airplane, whether it's standing on this stage, or whatever you want to do. Someday is not a day of the week. You need to take time for vacation. I'll tell you that one time in my life, I spent 8 years and never had a single vacation. 8 years went by. And I didn't realize what I was missing. I was so focused on career, and I was so focused on what I wanted to create in my business life that I'd forgotten about my relationships. I had forgotten about taking vacation and taking care of myself. And I'm telling you that the moment I went on vacation, I'm like, I should do this more often. You should totally do that. You should take time and swim with the dolphins if that's on your goal, if that's on your vision. But to tell you that you should also be someone's superhero. Make sure that it's a part of your life. Make sure that you find ways to give back. Even at our lowest moment, we have the ability to give back to others. And I'm going to tell you that every year, my fiance and I, we set a charitable giving goal. And we have a vision board. Our picture's in the center of it. And it keeps us focused on each other, and everything else just operates around us. And we set a goal every year for giving, and we just put a little check, a little tick mark by every time that we give. And sometimes it's a lot, sometimes it's a little, it just depends. But I'm telling you, you can make a difference in someone's life, be someone's superhero. You should take time for your friends. Spend time with your friends, spend time with your kids, spend time with your grandkids, make time for it, because someday is not a day in the week. You have to make time for those things today. You have to do them now. Marry the girl. I'm just saying, marry the girl. This is the year that I get to marry my sweetheart. It is. September 14th, I get to marry my sweetheart. We've spent the last 4 years together, and this year I get to marry her because I'm such a lucky guy. I'm just telling you, relationships are important, and if you put them off till someday, you'll miss out on them. It's very important. I'm going to tell you, too, that you need to make a difference for others, whatever that means for you. For me, it meant creating AGC. I looked at the marketplace and I'm like, you know what? This is an area where we can help. This is an area where everything I was attending that was after hours was in dark bars and it was uncomfortable for women. And it felt like a dating scene. And I thought we could make a difference here, make a difference for others. So what speaks to me about AGC is creating that referral. It's about creating those connections. It's about helping you get to that next piece of business that helps you put the thing in the garage you've always wanted. Or maybe just make your mortgage payment. Or send your kids to college. Make a difference for others. You matter. And I'm going to dedicate tonight's talk to a friend of mine, Brennan Scanlon. And Brennan and I, we kind of grew up in the world of networking. I've been in this industry for 14 years. And we had the same job in the same networking organization. We were just a city apart. And Brennan and I, became just pace partners for each other. Became mentors for each other. And I would call him and say, hey, how would you handle this? How would you tackle this goal? Or how would you do this? And he'd give me some great advice, and he would ask the same of me. And I'd travel to his city and attend his events, and I would learn from him. And he would travel to mine and learn from me. We became really good friends. And a year ago, we took this trip, and we got on motorcycles. Another common thing that we loved together was that we got to ride motorcycles for the first time together, because we did other things together. We attended events, and it was focused around business. But this was a trip that was so cool because 3 of us guys got on motorcycles, and we rode from Las Vegas after some business out to the Grand Canyon and around the Grand Canyon, and it was an absolute adventure of a lifetime. Make sure that you don't wait till someday to do these things, because I lost Brennan just a few weeks ago. Someday is not guaranteed. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow or if that person is going to be around anymore. And so, guys, don't put it off. I'm here to tell you that you need to take the chance. You need to. You got to go for it. Whatever it is, your dreams, business, life, no matter what it is, you've got to go for it. You have to follow your dreams. Seize the day. Every day matters. Say yes to something new. Try something different. Just do it. The Nike slogan, do it. Do it now, right now. There's no time like the present. No matter what it is, there's no time like the present. Do it today. Matter of fact, when you're thinking about that someday is not a day in the week, make today so awesome that yesterday is jealous. Guys, thank you so much for making today special for me. Thank you.